Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this, reviewing another animated film, but this one I was kind of hoping to avoid, but I just felt why not. Now, because I probably knew what I was in for, probably, and it turns out I was right. There's loads of anime films I love and enjoy, but there's always the chance. There was like a few handful that I just don't care for. Like, for instance, I am not the biggest fan of the Despicable Me franchise. I never got into the Despicable Me franchise. I know about the third one coming out during this summer. Seen the trailers to those. Seen the trailers to the third film. I just could never get into it. Now that, and especially how much I completely dislike the Minions. Just feel like I just want to kick them through a field goal. It's just so annoying. This big reason why I don't want to watch those films. But this one, reviewing now, is the 2015 animated film Strange Magic. I talked about reviewing this film. I was hoping, but now this was a story that was been made by George Lucas, because his brand is on here. It's made by Lucasfilms. It was a story that was made by George Lucas. He was talking about that he had this idea like 15 years prior, and he wanted to make a film for his three daughters. And he describes this film. He describes this film as Star Wars for a female audience. It's like Star Wars was for 12-year-old boys, and this film, it should be like Star Wars for 12-year-old girls. Now, I don't see nothing Star Wars about this. Now, this I don't see nothing Star Wars likable about this, but there's another animated film that has a strong resemblance to, that was made 2 years before this came out, and was made by 20th Century Fox and Blue Skies. That was Epic. This is the legit resemblance that it looks like Epic, and I like Epic a lot more than this, because you have these little people in the forest. Except probably the few differences between that and Epic is that you have these butterfly people, or it's called the fairy world, and then you have the story of the fairy world and the dark forest. So like very generic names, but and you have for your main characters, you have the two princesses. One is our main character, Marianne, right there, voiced by Evan Rachel Wood, and has another sister named Dawn, voiced by Meredith Ann Bowl. And Marianne, this one right here, she's getting married to this soldier guy named Roland, which he's wearing a uniform that kind of looks like almost like the same uniform as the Leaf people, the Leaf Men in Epic. Well, like, difference is they don't have butterfly wings. They just hop real high in Epic. And one thing I just did not like in this film is why it was like torture for me to sit through, is that the songs and the singing was atrocious, and it all sucked. The songs sucked. And I'm not, but I shouldn't be saying all the other people who are singing, because they're trying, for singing during the film. But I'm sorry, it was just ear bleeding, was making my ears bleed. That was basically what it is. And of course, there were scenes, when they're later in the film when um, Bog King, voiced by Alan Cumming, like his men or his people, wherever. Because the singer, the other sister Dawn was singing, they're covering their ears. And I'm like, yes, I'm doing the same thing. I can't stand it. I was trying to cover my ears too, but I can't. This the why, because through all, like, throughout this whole entire film, it's like when one song is done, it's like every 5 seconds one keeps on popping up, and like for the first 15 minutes of this film, there's been like 5 songs. Like every 5 seconds there's one song. At 5 seconds there's another song, another song, another song. It's like the first 15 minutes in, there's like probably 5 or 6 songs going through this. I don't care if I'm not miscounting. I'm just saying it's just gives like a bunch of songs already in the first 15 minutes, and it goes through all this whole entire film. But I was like, is this ever going to end? So yeah, that's the way why I was probably in for it. That's why because there was like I there was a lot of singing and songs in this film, and I knew there was probably singing songs when I first heard about it, but I just didn't think there was like so much of it. And this is almost as bad as the songs, the songs in Disney's, which came out. This was released in January, a month before this, in December of 2014. There was Into the musical Into the Woods, Disney's the Broadway play Into the Woods. And the songs sucked in that film. And I'm not the biggest fan of musicals either, but the songs in that film sucked, and that too. I mean, this is much worse because at least Into the Woods, a song was not playing every 5 seconds, one after another. At least there was like a little bit of more minutes between of conversations and stuff like that, though. But I'm saying every 5 seconds after one song is done, you have another. Just that's like the main problem I have with this is why, because there's too much of this, and plus there were songs sucked, and I know the singing is not probably the actors are not are trying the best they can, but the singing sucked too. Especially when Alan Cumming, who voiced the Bog King, that was just horrible, horrendous just to listen to. Because Alan Cumming, okay, films he has been in, I liked when he played Nightcrawler in X2, X-Men, the second X-Men film, X-Men United. I liked him when he played Nightcrawler. Then he played Floop from the Spy Kids films. He played Loki, not the Marvel Loki, but the one from the Son of the Mask. That Loki. That's like Nightcrawler. Kirk Wagner was the best role he had, and his singing was awful in this film as Bog King. Everybody was like, "Oh, I was like, I'm evil, and I can't do all this." I was like doing this, doing like how the people were when the younger sister of Dawn was singing. They were covering their ears, and I was like, yes, I want to do the same thing because it's making my ears bleed. But anyway, getting to all this, okay, all that aside, Marianne, she was gonna get married to this guy Roland, who. Another thing is that he's in love with himself. He does this stupid hair curling, and he only just wants to be king. But all she sees Roland kissing another girl, and she gets heartbroken. And now she doesn't like after singing that song, falling in love with you, and then she doesn't like believe in all that love stuff anymore, and she wants to get all bit in her warrior outfit and does all this training with sword and stuff, and her father, the princess's father, the king, is actually voiced by Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus, and he was in Species I reviewed, and I like Alfred Molina, good actor. Just wish he was not his voice has been in a better film. Um, so then an instance where there's this little elf named Sunny who likes Dawn, and they get chased by this lizard, and one leads to another. They go to this dance, and I don't know, this whole thing is all just disoriented to me. I'm just can't really jump through, but trying to get through as in order as I can because this film is just that forgettable. Um, they go to this ball where once again get another song because the guy Roland tries to go back with Marianne, which yeah, this time I agree with her because he's a lying asshole and he wants to try to win her back, but I don't blame her for wanting to kick him out, and just I don't want to have him back either. He's a egotistical, self-indulgent douchebag basically. And I don't blame him for kicking him out. So, and the whole thing is he wants to make this love potion to make her fall in love with him. And the thing is with the Bog King, he wants this banning on love and all that because love is dangerous and all that, what he says, and which you find out why later. So he asks Sunny to go to the dark forest because he's smaller, and asked for the Sugar Plum Fairy because it's been captured by a Bog King. So skipping, when he gets there, he goes through all that stuff until he gets the Sugar Plum Fairy to make this love potion to get to free her. He does so by bringing this little prime rose petal to make it, and gets her out, but then only to be caught later, shortly after, while he gets the love potion, and brings it back to the little elves have a little dance as well, and the Bog King interrupts our party, and they take Dawn, but only for the love potion to. The dust goes up in her face, and only she'll fall in love with the first person who she opens her eyes to. So they take her to his place, and Marianne wants to get her back, and same with Sunny. And while they bring her back to her place, of course, Dawn opens her eyes to Bog King. And she starts singing, and it's awful. This is where they were just covering their ears, which I want to do the same thing. And of course you have with this Bog King has a mother, who wants to find someone to love as well. And there's this thing with the Sugar Plum Fairy wanted to tell him because of something what happened with him about this whole love thing, and this whole thing is going on, Sunny has to stop because the potion end up being in the hands of what they call it, an imp, this little white rabbit looking thing, which I don't know if you can see right there. Looks like a rabbit. It's been spraying the love potion everywhere. The iguana that attacked them earlier falls in love with Sunny. And this is just get more singing. It's just awful. And when Marianne gets there, and they get this singing while sword fighting with the Bog King, and Alan Cumming's singing is the worst in this film. I mean, even Evan Rachel Wood's singing was decent though, but just everyone else sucked all around. And then of course I quickly get the idea that they share some of the same things, and these two are gonna fall in love, which is weird because she's human-like, and he's kind of like a a mosquito look like. It's like the wings of a mosquito and the face like one. And it's like, it's just weird. But they share a lot of the same things, and I can see they take into a trying to get into a liking to with each other. And when they listen to where the sugar plum fairy tells because why he didn't like the love thing so much, because he tried to use that love potion on someone that he liked, but it turns out it didn't work because that one person was already in love with someone else. So you can make love real, because love is real. You can't just make it. It's not true love. Basically, that's what it is. Because that one girl was already in love with someone else, and that's why it didn't work. So that's why, and I can see they're getting this love connection. I can see, and they see Roland and his army storming his castle, and think, "Oh, you did this. You let him here." But and then when you get not the singing part, I thought this ending, the climax of this whole thing is, I thought was pretty decent. I was getting into it because there was no singing involved. Well, Sonny frees the Sugar Plum Fairy and all these other captured people, animals I should say, and while Roland's men are using the cages to bring the whole castle down. I'm just calling it a castle. That's what it is. To bring the whole castle down. And I was like, okay, this is getting a little bit into it, even though this is I guess say sort of the best thing in the film, but it can't save the film either. So the whole thing starts crumbling down. Everybody gets out, and Bog King, he gives like the self-sacrifice to save Marianne and Dawn. While he tried to hold, the thing starts shutting on them, so he tries to hold up, then falls down into the crevice, I should say. And they assume he's dead, but as soon as Marianne turns her back, everyone's like, ooh, and he's still alive. And then they're trying to, they get this thing, oh, they need to tell him, or, they need to tell each other that they love each other. And they gets interrupted by Roland with a love potion. He puts in Marianne's face, and they're thinking that it worked, but it turns out she punches him, and he gets the love potion dust in his face as he falls down, because it didn't work, because that was not true love. I'm like, how did she do that? I was like, oh yeah, because he's a douchebag. That's why he gets what he deserves. So yeah, then I'm singing, and you get this kaleidoscope effect, which I'm sorry, this didn't work. I mean, it worked a lot better in Ant-Man with the whole kaleidoscope when he enters the quantum realm, but this whole kaleidoscope effect, when it becomes clear, they kiss each other, which is like creepy and weird, because she's like a human and he's not. And even that, there's a scene where Dawn kisses Sonny because he's an elf, like there, but because she's tall and he's small. And then after the credits is done, you see, I would say even more creepy, where Roland's guys are there, and he comes up, and he falls in love with one of these bugs, because that's, earlier Bog King's mom was trying to set him up with some other female creatures, and it's a kissing this beetle. I don't know what it is. It looks like a beetle, and he actually is really kissing the thing wherever its mouth is. Like, that was like the most cringing thing of the movie. That was like cringing. It's like, ugh. I'm like, this is from the mind. Yeah, this is really from the mind of George Lucas. Really, I'll even say his Star Wars prequels was much better than this. I mean, Revenge of the Sith has some much darker stuff in it, though. As much as I'm not a fan of the prequels, I was if Revenge of the Sith has some darker stuff to it. It's like, oh really? I mean, I understand he wanted to make this. He came up with this for his daughters. I understand that. It's a nice thing though. But as a film itself, though, Epic is a much better so-called version of this. Even if you want to put these little people in a big forest, Epic is a lot better. It was not non-musical, but I enjoyed it. That was very well animated. Okay, and that's another thing I would say. For another positive thing I would give to this, it's well animated. I will give it that. But the film had a poor opening at the box office. It debuted at number 7 and made 13 million worldwide. Now I don't know what its budget was because I would say it's unknown what its budget is. If anyone knows what its budget is, please let me know because I can't find it anywhere. But $13 million, I'm saying I would say it's a flop because maybe it looks like a budget of well made for like the not the same from Epic though, but probably like the budget from the Despicable Me films because the Despicable Me films are on a good modest budget like 70 some million. Maybe a little bit lower. Like the budget is I'll probably give like to be honest maybe 30 to 50, maybe between there. But I'm saying if anyone knows what the budget of this film was, let me know because either way, horrible opening, low box office takings. I would pretty much say this film was a flop. And wasn't well received by critics either. It has a 5.9 IMDb and has a 16% Rotten Tomatoes, while Epic has much more high ratings of both those things. So, and yeah, but the thing is, it's well animated for whatever budget was. The climax, of getting to like everyone when they're trying to get to the fight and everyone's trying to get out, that was pretty decent though. And Alfred Molina, for the little voice role he had as the king, I wish his voice was in a different movie because I like Alfred Molina. But the songs and the singing, especially Alan Cumming singing, was just awful, and the rest of the songs sucked. And especially for when especially when these two are together and they're singing the title "Strange Magic." Yeah, it is strange magic, alright, and just why it's strange is beyond me. But it's just it's just a blatant. It's like a blatant. Even though it was like 15 years before, well, 2013, but way before Epic was made. Yeah, there was an idea, but as I see it though, I'd rather choose Epic over this. At least it has a better voice cast. Like Colin Farrell, even Josh Hutcherson. I'll take over anybody in this film, and Christoph Waltz. At least who is also like looks like a blatant ripoff of Bog King in a way, but he has like the staff though. At least his staff had more cosmic destruction with this tar thing, destroyed trees and all that stuff. But even this guy was not much of a villain anyway because he's falling in love with her. And Amanda Seyfried as MK. I forget what her name was, but I prefer it has much better voice cast and better likable characters to me than any of these people are. Probably the only difference is from Epic because these people they're butterfly people, I should say. That's pretty much the main difference is, and like the character role, and it's like wear the same armor like the Leafman wore in Epic. But yeah, I mean, this is for the mind of George Lucas. This doesn't look like a film that's from George Lucas. I can't see this is from George Lucas or from Lucasfilm either. It's by far like the lowest grossing thing from Lucasfilm by far. Yeah, I wasn't looking forward to seeing this. So now you have it. Strange Magic. like I said, I love and enjoy like 95% of animated films, but they're in that 5% range. There's just some that I don't care for, and this is one of them. But if anyone who likes Strange Magic, more power to you, because obviously have more liking to this film than I do. And if anyone thinks it's better than Epic, that's your opinion. I'm not gonna judge you for that. But I just think is so. Every 5 seconds, when one song ends, 5 seconds later, there's another song, then another song straight after that. And to be honest, yeah, I just started skipping through the songs. You know, started fast forwarding through the songs to get to the part where they stop singing. It's 99 minutes, but the songs just make him drag out, especially when they're like one song straight after another. It just makes the whole film seem like it's going on for like more than like close to 2 hours, basically. That's how slow the film was. But yeah. But if anyone likes the film, that's perfectly fine. I'm not a fan of this at all. But I got the film to give my insight on it, and here's my insight on it. Definitely not my kind of film. I'd just rather watch Epic. But yeah, but it's like I said, it's all opinion based. But yeah, Strange Magic. Everyone deserves to be loved. Well, I don't deserve to be loved by this film. So weird as that sounds, I don't love the film. So unless you give me some magic potion, maybe I can pretend to fall in love with this film, but that's not gonna happen because it's not real. It's all fantasy make believe. But I don't see nothing magic about this either. So, and there's nothing for features, musical mashup, outtakes, tests, and melodies, and creating the magic, which there's no magic here. It's just me and the cast and the filmmakers. Probably George Lucas is on this probably, but I haven't looked at the features. It's not worth my time. But yeah, Strange Magic, not my movie at all. Like I said, if anyone likes the film, that's perfectly fine. But I'd just rather watch Epic instead. So, but thanks for watching, and take care, and stay tuned on the next movie review. And on to the next one. Later.